Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about diversity because at this point, let's just say stop, stop Hollywood, media, entertainment, business, all of it. Stop with the diversity. I'm sick of diversity at this point, and this coming from a person of diverse background. Stop. Enough is enough at this point. I'm sick of the diversity initiative. I'm getting real tired of it. Enough diversity. It's not even diversity anymore. No, true diversity is diverse of thought, diverse of feeling, diverse of storytelling. All of this stuff that you guys are doing is pandering. It's not realistic. It comes off as corporate. It comes off as mandate. I'm sick of it. People are sick of it. It just needs to stop. No more of this diversity nonsense. Like, you guys are killing your own. You literally killing your own goddamn backyard by this whole initiative of diversity. Enough. Enough. I'm sick of seeing all of these classic IPs that I grew up loving get race changed or gender changed or sexuality changed because you want certain people to feel seen or heard or whatever and stuff like that. And it's just like, you morons, that's not the reason why people watch these shows. I don't just watch an all-white cast because they're white. I watch it because the show's funny. The show's either funny or the drama is amazing, or it's a group of damn superheroes or some characters doing a fantasy journey, or they're going on a cool road trip. I don't watch the show because, wow, it has just white people in it. Just like I don't watch an all black show just because it's black. There are plenty of black shows that have came out that weren't good. I'm sorry to tell people this. Not every show that has all white, all black, or even have a diverse cast is not good. Because I don't care what nobody says. To this day, I didn't like Seinfeld. I didn't like How to Get Away with. I didn't like How You Met Your Mother. I didn't like Friends like that. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, some of these popular shows or whatever. Some of these popular shows that came out back in the day. I mean, it wasn't because the characters were white. I just didn't like them or whatever. But that's okay. But now, if you take those shows that I just said, if you brought them back, we gotta take everything out. We gotta take everything out. So the whole entire cast gotta be diverse. There's gotta at least be 2 gay people up in there. We might get 1 white character, and the rest will be diverse origins, and most of them will be women. I don't understand that. I don't understand what you guys think that you need to prove to somebody that that you need to be diverse. No, you really don't. You really don't. Stop listening to these people that said that they need to see themselves in everything or whatever and stuff like that. Or they're scrapping on or whatever and stuff like, well, I couldn't enjoy this show because it was queer baiting, or I couldn't enjoy this show because it wasn't enough women, or I couldn't enjoy this show because it wasn't enough non-white people in there. Who cares? Then guess what? The show wasn't for you then. The show, the movie, the comic book, the books, the game, it wasn't made for you then. It wasn't made for you then. I'm sorry to tell you this. Go find something else that's for you. But stop trying to scrap on to things that weren't. And stop having these companies kneel down and change that kind of stuff, because you can't please everybody. But if I was working in entertainment business, my job is to entertain people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my bottom line is good. So if majority of people are saying that they don't like this, right? And they've proven it in money-wise, if I'm losing profits, I'm not going to double down on the things that they didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Why are we listening to people that are online telling you that you need to make these changes to establish franchises and IPs, when those are the same bitches that don't even buy your stuff? And then you're shocked and surprised that you're losing money on this stuff. But then instead of taking fault for your actions or whatever, it's our fault. It's the fans' fault. It's the customer's fault. No, that's not how the fuck this works. I'm sorry to tell you this. That's not how this works. Your job is to entice me. Your job is to make me drop my money on this stuff. But lately, most of the stuff that's coming from American entertainment has been dog shit. Oops, sorry you don't like it. Sorry you don't like it. But that's the truth. That is the truth. And then you got this whole nonsense with the whole Resident Evil thing. And let's talk about the Resident Evil thing. Albert Wesker. I know people know what Albert Wesker looked like, because if you played Resident Evil, you have an idea of what this character looks like. I don't understand why they think that they can just change these characters on us and then expect us to just be okay with this nonsense. I'm sorry, that's not his work. You can't get mad that people have a look or a feel to these characters. Like, even for instance, that whole death thing. They even did a promotional image of what death will look like in the Netflix Sandman show. It looks like a black bitch cosplaying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You get mad all you want to. I know some people are going to be like, I can't believe. Yes, as a black person, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see a black person, officially a black person, playing death in Sandman. That's not what she looks like in the comic books. And I know some people be like, well, no. She is a pale white woman. The palest in the world. Why would you get the opposite of pale? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you're going to throw on snow paint on her, because God forbid, you guys won't even do that. You couldn't even do that for Starfire, for God's sakes. Nobody cared that she was black, but the problem is orange skin. I have orange skin. I could have played a better Starfire than Anadopic, because I look like a Tamaranian. All you gotta do is give me green contacts and dye my hair red, which my hair is starting to slightly turn red, which is very strange, to be honest. and get me in one of those Tamaranian costumes, and I'll be her brother Ryan. You know what I'm saying? The time where it was time to get a light-skinned person to play Starfire, you couldn't even do that. But you get the darkest people, and that's the problem. You guys are changing these characters so far up that it's pushing people. Like, for instance, I had this one person that we've been following each other since like forever on my Instagram, and he will always try to like justify the changes that Hollywood and these video games, like he would justify The Last of Us 2, he would justify the Star Wars crap, he would justify a lot of the changes that was going on. But even now, he's like, okay, all right, okay, I've had enough. He was like, I'm at a breaking point, because now this is not even funny anymore. This isn't about diversity. This is just some bull crap. And I'm like, thank you. I've been trying to tell you this for years, that this mess is not diverse. This isn't trying to incorporate diversity or whatever. This is them pandering, and this is them destroying these characters and these franchises and property, and then wonder why we're upset. Like, you literally got what's his darn name? Lance Riddick. You got Lance Riddick playing Albert Wesker. A bald-headed black man compared to a tall, white, laid back, slick white man with glasses and a leather jacket. I'm sorry. You can't tell me, you can't expect me to accept that. I mean, for God's sakes, there's been first images, shots of the live action Little Mermaid thing, and it looks like trash. It looks like trash. Haley ass ain't dyed her hair. It's orange, and it's barely that. It's barely that. It's like orange is blonde. Then they got on swimsuits, and I'm talking about like modern time swimsuit. Like, what is that? What is that? So is the movie going to take place in modern time? It's already weird enough that Ariel is the only black person in the movie. Again, tell me how a white person having a black girl. I mean, having a black daughter. So what, the other 11 sisters are going to be white too? Or are we going to pretend like they don't exist? I'm just like, these characters aren't looking like they look anymore, and you can't say diversity. because it's not diversity. You're literally spitting in the face of fans and customers, and then wonder why they're leaving and going over to Japan. And then you're trying to go over to Japan and trying to tell them what they need to do in order to make more money. No, they don't have to do a damn thing, because what they're doing is outselling the manga. I mean, manga and anime is outselling anything that the comic book industry can, and anything that the movie industry is doing right now. Sad to say, you know what I'm saying? For all your talk about, oh, we can't stand anime or whatever and stuff like that, but then you want to try to invest in anime, but then you want to make changes to anime and manga. No, the reason why it's successful is because it's unchanged. When I read my mangas, they're unchanged. They're in English, but they kept everything. They kept everything. The blood, the gore, the boobs, the bodies, the nakedness, all of it. All of it. It's all there. And the same thing with the unedited anime. I don't want to see edit stuff anymore. I don't want to see changes. I don't want to see censored stuff. I don't want to see LGBT characters pop up in everything. I don't want to see black people pop up in everything. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. You can get mad all you want to, but the truth is the truth, and we've been going through this same nonsense over and over and over again, and it's just like, of course, it's gonna be people who are like, well, it's not made for you. Then who the hell is it made for? Because apparently it ain't made for anybody. Then how are you going to take an IP that has a built-in fan base and change everything about it, and then get upset that fans reject it, and then you got your apologists trying to say, well, it wasn't made for you, or cry about it some more. Okay. I mean, like, I think this world is a little ass backwards, where y'all forget that the entertainment business is at the kneel of us. If we don't put money into it, then they ain't got nothing. And it's been proven that they've been losing money on this stuff time and time again. I don't understand what's happening. Y'all really be thinking that they have money. If it wasn't for China, half of these movies and shows or whatever and stuff like that wouldn't be off the ground. I can tell you that. And they wouldn't even have half the money that they have now. I'm just being honest. Take away the international box office for that kind of stuff and see how much Americans really care about this stuff, because they're showing you they don't. And y'all got these little articles trying to be like, oh, it's the toxic man babies, it's the toxic trolls or whatever and stuff like that, or it's Trump supporters. You know, all of this crazy nonsense where you're literally blaming the fans, the people that's kept this stuff going on for years. You guys got complacent and you got comfortable and thought that you could just throw out whatever you wanted to and thought we was going to throw money at it. Well, sorry, it's not working, sucker. I can already tell you that it's not working, because you're losing more and more ground every day. Like, even for instance, what they had articles about, oh, Velma's going to be Asian in the Velma Solo series, and it's not going to have, it's going to be in an alternate universe, and there's no Scooby-Doo, there's no Mystery Machine, and there's no Scooby-Doo gang. Okay, first off, Velma's been Asian before. She's been played by two Asian women before, so it's not nothing new. It's just that they were so convincing as being a white woman, nobody really cared, because they respected the character enough, and they got the personality, they got the look, they got the feel of the character. They didn't just go and get somebody and just like didn't get the characters correct. You know what I'm saying? That's if you really wanted diversity or whatever and stuff like that, and you really wanted to push, you would have did something like with the whole thing with the Scooby-Doo live action thing. Anadopic. All you had to do was just spray paint bronze on her. She would have been walking around with bronze orange skin until filming stopped. She's an alien. She is an alien. Everybody knows that aliens and creatures exist in a world of DC comic books. I mean, in the world where Superman exists, why is characters like the Martian Manhunter and Starfire, all of these alien characters that come from or whatever, they never have their alien colored skin or whatever and stuff like that. And it doesn't make any sense. John Jones should be walking around green for most of the time. You know, his identity is public to the public, so you know it is what it is. And it's the same thing with Anadopic. All you had to do was just get bronze spray paint and literally spray paint her. If cosplayers can do it, why can't you? There is probably a black cosplayer out right now that is probably prepping her death costume and spray painting herself white as snow to pull off the look of death. Why you can't do that? What is so hard about doing that kind of stuff? No, you can't do that. You gotta be lazy with it too. Just like you race change a character that got red hair and you won't even give them the red hair. You won't even give them the red hair. Bald headed Jimmy. Messed up MJ. Half breed, what's her name? Red Sonja. Puffball Afro, them they she it Cyclone character. Like, I mean, black girl in The Flash. I mean, half the family, half black now for unknown reasons. I mean, at this point, this isn't a joke anymore. This isn't just some, every once in a while. This is starting to become too noticeable. It's the same thing with every goddamn year or whatever. They got to take a character out of the closet and make them goddamn part of the LGBT community. It's not stunning. It's not brave anymore. It's getting pandering and it's getting annoying. All of this stuff, race changing a character, changing their gender or changing their sexuality, all of that falls in line of unnecessary changes, annoyance. The diversity crap needs to stop. Enough diversity. I'm sick of diversity. How about give me good story first? Give me good story. Until you can give me good story, I'm not trying to hear about diversity. I'm not trying to hear about what this person don't feel like. Oh well, cry about it later. Cry about it later. Until I can get good stories from these characters, I'm not trying to hear about, well, we need diversity and all inclusion and all that kind of stuff. You can take diversity and inclusion and shove it up your ass until you get your audience back. Do you not understand? Almost half of the most popular franchises are dying out because of idiots listening to idiots like that talking about we need diversity and inclusion. Then you got celebrities that are diverse talking about there's never been anything for us people of color before, whatever, stuff like that. Y'all bitches act like y'all grew up in the 1930s and the 1940s. Are you kidding me? The late 60s had black characters on there, had people of other races on there. Stop acting like we haven't gotten over racism or diversity. It's been there. Nobody made a big deal about it because those milestones have already happened. Stop talking about, like Disney every other month. Disney to introduce their first gay character. Disney to introduce their first black woman. Disney to introduce their first female of color. Like, in what? In what? We already had that. We already had that. And then you guys talk as if we're in a third world country. But in third world countries, half of all of this nonsense that you guys are talking about, most people get punished for that kind of stuff. Or most of that stuff isn't allowed. And yet you're still complaining. You're still complaining when there are bigger issues. Most people want to be entertained. But you guys can't even do that. Like throughout this entire pandemic, Hollywood, your job was to entertain us. And what did you do? You doubled down on the stupidity and preach to us and lecture to us. Instead of making fun shows that the whole family could enjoy. Instead of making fun shows that people can enjoy. You doubled down on it. Then you had the nerve to increase prices on your loser products. Give it a chance, they say. Well, you don't know because you haven't watched it. I don't have to watch anything to know that it's crap. How many years has it been? It's been it's been 10 to 12 years of this same nonsense. We gave them a decade and nothing has improved. Nothing has approved. Like, what are we talking about? We're still doing this same nonsense over and over and over again. When I come home and try to turn on the TV, nothing's good on because it's either world news, it's either the entertainment business sniffing their own ass, it's the shows are talking about race theories, There's always somebody getting kidnapped or killed. Then the shows that you, then the other movies, it's the same thing where they preach to the man, tell them how terrible they are as men or whatever and stuff like that, or how sexist everything is and how it's wrong to be straight and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, what are you guys doing? Your job is to entertain. Stop with the agendas. You guys can't even slightly put an agenda in there. The agendas, you can smell it as soon as the movie turn on, as soon as the TV show comes on. This isn't funny anymore. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. Like, again, I want the entertainment business to get better. I really do. But at some point, you guys gotta stop. You guys gotta stop. Stop trying to blame everybody else. Look at self in the mirror and figure out, damn, we screwed up. Because there's no way in the world you guys can keep justifying this nonsense. You're turning people off. I don't understand. If somebody tells you they don't like it, if your fan base is telling you this is stupid, if your fan base is literally walking out in droves, and yet you ignore that, but then you listen to the weirdos online that tells you, bravo, this was excellent, this was amazing. Don't listen to them. They're just a small minority. But yet you're losing billions. How is that a small minority? So you gain a little bit of people, but lost more. Make that make sense to me. I don't understand. Apparently, business must change or something. I guess business qualifications done changed or something like that. Because these companies are losing money. And yet they're praising themselves for these changes that they made. It's time to retcon all of these changes that you're making. That means all of the characters in the last 10 years that you made come out the closet, make them straight again. All of the characters you done race changed, put them back to original races. The characters that you done gender swapped, guess what? Put them back in the sex that they were originally. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. You have to start going back on all of this stuff. Disney, you're going to have to bring in the extended universe. I'm sorry, the Disney Star Wars stuff doesn't exist. It's in an alternate timeline. It's in an alternate timeline. Marvel, DC, all of the stuff that's happened 2011 and now, all of that's in another timeline. All of that's in another timeline. That stuff doesn't matter anymore. We're going back. We're going back to what made y'all great again because y'all missed something. I don't know what happened, but it's time to go back. It's time to go back to what people love about these IPs. Doctor Who, the whole female doctor stuff didn't exist. It didn't exist. Star Trek, Picard didn't exist. The new Star Trek shows didn't exist. Hell, if you want to, the new movies didn't exist. The MCU, everything after Infinity War doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Let's figure it. We're going to retcon that up out of here and we're going to go back. We're going to go back. We're going to change some things. I mean, Endgame maybe, but we need to tweak that movie a whole lot in order for that to kind of work. But you need to. You got to. DCEU, that nonsense with the Harley Quinn bullcrap, Wonder Woman 1984, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Because you guys got to do something. You guys got to start giving the customers what they want. And stop trying to pretend like when something good is happening, you try to diminish it and be like, see, people really didn't really buy it or anything or whatever, stuff like that. Come to find out, because you self-sabotaged it, because you didn't want it to sell, because you knew people would like it. Or am I lying? No, I'm not lying. We know how much they hack these numbers and stuff like that. I'm just saying, when Japan comes in your own backyard and regulates you, you messed up. Do you guys know my grandma has been addicted to Netflix and Hulu, right? She still watches her little classic American shows, but for the most part, she has been watching everything outside of America mostly because it's more interesting and more entertaining than the trash that's here. Half the stuff that she be talking about, she's like, it's not interesting anymore. It's not nothing's holding her attention anymore. But she gets way more entertainment out of things outside of America. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew if you just had a good story, a good premise, and then talk down to people and then treat them like they were stupid, maybe you can get people to watch these American shows. But you gotta put some time and effort into this stuff. You can't be lazy anymore. It's time for y'all to step up. It's time for y'all to step up, put on big boy pants, grow up, apologize to the customers and fans, and really understand what the fans really want. Because there's a disconnect. And y'all got to stop listening to those bloggers. You got to stop listening to those Twitter people and stuff like that. You really got to understand who your audience is. And maybe it's time for Hollywood to burn or something like that. I don't know. But maybe y'all need to get up out of Hollywood. I mean, maybe y'all need to get up out of LA because that little bubble needs to be burst. Because go out into the real world. Because all of these changes that you guys are talking about, that is people in that bubble. That is that bubble right there. Sorry, the real world doesn't work like that. I'm just being honest. You're going to have to go outside of the bubble of LA and literally listen to people. Listen to people. And when I mean listen, I mean open up your ears, open up your heart, open up your mind to it, and don't just have them there for a token to wave the flag and be like, look, we got a diverse person. Everybody's got struggles. Everybody's got problems. Everybody always felt different from everybody. Blase, blase, blase. We've heard this story time and time again. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Your job is to make sure you can get majority people to watch and support your stuff. If you can't get majority people to watch or support your stuff, you failed at entertaining. And that's just real talk, Hollywood. But enough of the diversity. I'm just over diversity at this point. Over it. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.